Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. We are here for our 92nd installment of the Talk That Talk Show. We're here on a Friday night at our customary 8:30 time, and I'm just happy to spend a little time with you all out there. Shout out to my boy Vitamin Z on our Instagram live stream. Shout out to Maggie Mo. Shout out to Robert Brantley Jr. Had a conversation with him beforehand. He couldn't wait to see us up on there. He's got his beer. You got your beer ready? Shout out to Marissa Ortiz, always supporting me each and every week. Z-Sean, he said he's going to send me the beat after. Hey, I can't wait to see what beat you're going to have for me, brother. But like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my sponsors. So before we get into it, I want to thank my sponsors, Air We Are, located in the South Side, helping anybody in the tri-state area to help get their heating and air conditioning needs. Also want to give a shout out to 13 and a Half Clothing Company. My boy Angelo is doing big things over there, trying to put out some pieces to make sure that people can get some hot threads on the street. Shout out to my boy Strike Tyson. Can't wait to bowl some practice with you, or hopefully in the brawl soon, right? Shout out to Skydye Socks. My boy Savion Gaynor is doing huge, amazing things to put out some the dopest custom socks. And, you know, he's been also doing some shirts as well, too. We're working on trying to work together on the OGLSs at some point. So, you know, we definitely got some things in the works. And it's always good to have, you know, those friends around you that, you know, you can build with as well, too. Also want to give a big shout out to Joe Snow. And I wrote it down because I want to make sure I get her name right. Maria Bruscianelli, all right? Over at New York Life, helping people to get everybody their financial freedom that they're looking for. One day at a time, you know, hit them up, and they'll put you on a pathway to get you where you want to go. And then also finally want to give a big shout out to my boy Timmy Hugel, who I subbed for Thursday night over at Ink Parlor. Always love bowling with him, and, you know, just the fact that he's able to help me put some of the dope threads into motion, you know, it's invaluable to me, man. And I appreciate him so much for that. And then finally, got to give a big time shout out to VW Liquors, located in Wick Plaza, Edison, New Jersey. Neva, she said, "You go, Barry Holmes. So proud of you." I'm so proud that, you know, you're healthy and able to watch this show. You've went through so much, Neva. You know, you showed me the huge scar, you know, that they had on your head from, you know, your surgery. But you're a warrior, and that's what this is all about. We're a breeding place for warriors, and you know, we thank you so much for, you know, your support, Neva, and, you know, you were definitely in our prayers. Shout out to K Sam. He said, "Beard fresh today." Yes. I got to give a big shout out to my boy Savion Gaynor, because he called me up. He's like, "Yo, B, what you doing?" You know, I'm just like, you know, I'm chilling. You know, what's going on? He's like, "Yo, I need you, man. We're going to go get this cut, all right?" And Say's, you know, he's always fresh, man. So I told you, I was like, all right, let me go try him out. And, you know, I had a couple experiences before with the past barber where, you know, they absolutely fucked up my hair, man, and I wound up having to go bald, and, you know, it just wasn't a good look, man. So, you know, I was in that routine of constantly going to the same, you know, place, you know, because after work I would go to this place in Newark. So, you know, it's always time to try and, you know, find something different, and you know, it was the last straw when they did some terrible hair cutting job up there. So, you know, I followed the advice of my boy Savion, and we went over to a place in Perth Amboy, got ourselves some tacos, and I wound up being just impressed with the job that he did, man. And you know, I just say that to say, you know, you gotta listen to your homies sometimes, because, you know, they got some answers for you. You just gotta be able to be willing to take it and put it into motion. Then also, you know, don't be afraid to try different things, man. You know, for so long, you know, I was so caught in the routine of going to Newark and going to that barbershop, because that's where I went for, you know, the past 4 or 5 years. But you know, I was impressed with what happened today. I mean, he had a facial, and you're doing like you know, massage in the chair. Had a massage on the chair, and I was just like, man, I ain't never going back to my old barber. So, you know, shout out to Savion for hooking me up with the fresh barber, man. I'm feeling good out here. But before we get into the show, I also want to thank, and I want to give you guys some numbers because, I know on the last episode you talked about how we hit 10,000 downloads, and how that's big for us. But, it doesn't stop there. And like I said, in this last 7 days, just in this past week, I got to tell you guys what's happening, man. And, we had over 18 different countries that we streamed the last episode in. So, that's huge because, it's one thing to kill it on your home front, but it's another thing to go internationally and be streamed in 18 different countries. That's awesome, man. And we were downloaded 238 times in the last 7 days. So, I tell you what, man, it's awesome to see the growth. I remember, like I said, just struggling to get 50 downloads, struggling to get 100 views on Facebook streams. So, like I said, to see that progress and to say that, not even Edison, New Jersey, right? The place where I reside and lay my head, that wasn't even the top place in America that streamed our last episode. So I want to give a big shout out to these 5 cities. And I told myself, and I told people this too, because it's like I said, it's one thing to have your hometown, but it's another thing to have people that don't know you from a can of paint to listen to your podcast from halfway across the country and hopefully can learn a little bit about who I am. So shout out to Centennial, Colorado. You guys really balled out for us in the downloads. Shout out to Dresser, Wisconsin. Shout out to Monroe, Louisiana. Chantilly, Virginia. And then Big Flatbush, New York, man. Those are the top 5 cities that streamed our episode last week. So, I definitely wanted to just show some love to you all out there. I swear I got the best fan base, ever, I think, man. And you guys are the reason why I'm able to come out each and every week to deliver you guys a fresh episode. And we got 13 people, here on our Facebook live stream. We got 5 on our Instagram live stream. Shout out to Norman Pang. Shout out to Deshaun Hope. We got to get him back on the war zone soon. But, first things first, we talk about growth and, the amount of growth that's happened. And I'm just really happy to announce that tomorrow I will be announcing my first ever boxing fight card, which is going to be really awesome. I get to go into the suit and see which suit I'm going to rock. My boy Jeff already has bets on the side on what color suit I'm going to pick. I'm not going to give you guys any hints, but I'm just really excited about that. And like I said, I've always been a huge fan of boxing, and I've always been a huge fan of MMA. And I think that the one thing that was so important to me was the fact that, we've always talked about networking and just how important that is. And literally, me becoming a boxing announcer, I can thank Kevin Rosa for that, honestly, because at the end of the day, Kevin Rosa reached out to me via message and was like, yo, I got somebody for your show that would be really dope for you to interview. And I could have just brushed it off. I could have read it. I could have dismissed it. But I literally was like, yo, I want to see what you got, man. So who do you have for me? And sure enough, that's how our ringside episode happened 2 weeks ago, I believe. So, upon having that and, having a great conversation with Kevin Barry Coleman, he winds up asking me, hey, you seem like you got a great passion for this and, you did so well behind the mic. You think you can announce my fight card? And, I thought he was joking at first, but I tell you what, man, it was just amazing to have that opportunity. And it was something that I said immediately. I was like, yeah, off the rip. And, just the fact that, it's almost like an underground type fight thing where, we're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be food, drinks. And, just the fact that we can keep it here in Jersey, it means all the best. I always am trying to, advance and do the good things and do positive things and challenge myself. And I never thought I could have the chance to be a Bruce Buffer. So, I'm really excited about that. And so I've always been somebody to bring the energy. So, I think this is a role that I'm just going to be really excited about. And, you never know what can happen from here, man. You might see me announce some other fights upcoming soon, or, you never know what can happen. And that's why it's just so important. Some people are just so shut off and, not receptive to the fact of networking, but, you just can't be afraid to see who's out there, because you never know how they can help you, along the way with you. And I speak again about the networking because, I had somebody else that reached out to me, and actually it didn't even reach out. It was just a general Facebook status, right? And I want to give a big shout out again to my boy Desvon Moody, because ever since we were in York College and the days that I had there, he's always somebody that was trying to advance, very pro-black, and trying to advance us as a culture and as a people. And he was doing that when we were 18, 19 years old. So when I saw the message from him on Facebook saying, hey, I have a panel of black professionals that I would love to have on here, and anybody reach out if you would like in. And I'm sure everybody has about over 1,000 Facebook friends, and I didn't really see anybody comment on there. And I saw this as a mega golden opportunity to not only be in the same realm or in the same place as other black professionals, but also to try and uplift. We were talking about the importance of, giving back on Black History Month by participating. And, I thought it was my duty to give back and to participate in this panel. So I reached out to Desvon, and sure enough, I was able to get put on the panel for, professional blacks. And I got to talk to students in Baltimore, Maryland on a Zoom call. And honestly, it was an amazing experience, because even though this experience was for the kids, I really took a lot out of it, seeing millionaires and people that have multiple businesses, multiple revenue streams, multiple degrees, doctorates, and here I'm in the same realm or on that same platform as these people. And at first I kind of felt like, I don't know what I'm doing here. If you got people that have doctorates and you have all these different higher credentials, and here I am, just a guy starting his brand up with a podcast who lost his job, and to be able to then say that message and talk about the resilience and talk about just my core values and how it's important to keep pushing on. It was important for me to not only say that, but to say that to a demographic where that's what they have to do. So, I didn't come in there with a suit and tie. I had my fitted on, and, because at the end of the day, I wanted to show that, hey, I'm, one of you just like you, and, I share the same passion, that a lot of them may have, and just having the chance to, connect with them and tell them that, hey, here I did interview NBA players and NFL players. And, at the end of the day, I still, lost my job that I had for a certain amount of time. And, there's no excuses. And that was the one thing that I took away from the one lady. I think she was a millionaire and owned like a couple different businesses. But one of the things that she had said was, she had never faced black hardship before. And that was something that I really thought about, because at the end of the day, I worked in a place where we've seen that, consistently. And, to have it come from her, it made me think a little bit, because, when she elaborated, when I listened to her a little bit more about her not having black hardship, she spoke about, just the fact that, she didn't want to use her color as an excuse, and that, the people that, laid down the groundwork for us years and years ago literally made it easy for her to just do what it was that she was supposed to. And I thought I'd never thought about it in that way. But realistically, we have a lot of, I won't say everybody, but we definitely have certain people that use certain things as excuses. But, I feel like I'm somebody that's never used excuses to live my life. And like I said, it was so empowering to not only see other people in that realm, but to be in a panel where I'm trying to enlighten and empower other students. And here I was on the receiving end of that empowerment, and that shit is very, very influential. And I think that it all goes back in the tying of, the importance of networking, because if I had not reached out to this guy and said, hey, I want to, I want to pursue this opportunity that you're giving to me, then I would have never had that opportunity to A, give back, and B, give back to myself, man. Because it's so, like I said, it's so powerful. Because when you talk about millionaires and billionaires, and the first thing you think about traditionally are white people, but they're to see someone that looks like you, that has come from a different realm, different background, different state, and still is able to come out here and be an influential force. I have no excuse, so I continue to grind each and every day. And the main thing, like I said to you all out there, don't be afraid to network, and don't be afraid to, push yourself to the limit and challenge yourself. See what else opportunities are out there, and make the most of it. And I go and it's dope that I even say that too, because one of the things that comes along with challenging yourself is having to have that resilience and humility that it takes to go through. And I always talk about sports and how sports are so dope because they're able to, teach us life lessons. And that's why I always say if I ever have any kids, they're definitely going to be playing sports because, there's a lot to be learned from them. And, each and every week, I get to go out here and participate in bowling with my brother and compete and go hard, And, I think that, with all the practicing that we've done and all the, the different league nights and just competitions, I've become such a great bowler and such a better bowler because of, the leagues that I do with my brother and, all the reps that I've been able to get. But I go just to say that with a lot of bowling comes a lot of lessons. And, one of the things that I think Eric Nolan said on his previous episodes is never a loss, it's a lesson. And, we had an opportunity on Tuesday to, to put our best foot forward. And, me and my brother, we took the first game, lost the second game, and we came into a tough third game. And, we were battling back and forth with these guys, and they've kind of really become like our rivals for this season. And, we were battling them back and forth. And I had picked up a huge strike in the ninth frame to set up a double, triple opportunity. And, going into that 10th frame, I hit the first shot, put some pressure on the guy. He comes back, he hits his shot. And it was tough, man. And I had an opportunity to close the door, and I choked. I wound up throwing a 5 count, and the guy strikes out. We lose by 20 pins, and I tell you that shit was awful. I went to bed, tight. My brother wanted to play some video games with me, and I'm just like a kid with ice cream, just licking the ice cream, don't even give it a shit. I was just so out of it, man, because I went to that highest point where I had put myself and grinded it and pushed and got to that point where I could finally shut the door, and I choked and I let myself down. And that was tough, man, and we lost, and it was a bitter pill to swallow. I don't care how many years you bowl or how many games that you bowl. When you have a close game where you lose by 20 pins like that, and you controlled your own destiny, that's a shitty feeling to have. And the like I said, to have that podcast where you have a guy up there that says it's never it's never a loss, it's a lesson. And I learned that at the end of the day, even though we put our best foot forward, sometimes it's not going to be enough. And you got to be able to take that loss with humility and with resilience. And come to find out, we're going to be bowling them again next week. So we get an opportunity right at it to crack back at it again. And I'm not gonna let that slip again, man. And that was something that was big because then I could have sulked about that shit. I could have been really upset. But I took the opportunities. Somebody asked me, hey, can you sub on Wednesday night? So I took that, right? I took that opportunity to sub, and I got back out there. Somebody asked me to sub Thursday night. I took that opportunity and I went back out there. And, even on that Thursday night where we're coming out to put our best performance, to commemorate, a teammate that was lost from the COVID. Shout out to Jimmy Long, rest in peace. But, we wanted to put our best foot forward out there Thursday night. I had a great first game, good 209. But then that second game, again, we talk about the resilience and the humility and difficulty. Every single shot I threw, it was in the pocket, but was just leaving splits. It was awful, man. And here you have right behind me a guy in Ernie Lukakis who is just such a smooth dude, man. And Here I wind up shooting 138. It was the worst game that I bowled all season. And following me up was Ernie Lukacs. And every single time I threw a shitty shot, she's like, yo, don't worry about it, man. It's all right, bro. Come on, I got you. Head up. And sure enough, this motherfucker shoots 300. Right after seeing me shoot 138, he shoots 300, a perfect game. And you could look at him, it didn't even look like anything had happened, man. And it's that mentality, or that brush it off, to have someone that on your teammate also to uplift you, where, I came into that third game and I didn't miss a shot till what was like 8th or 9th frame. And, in the past, and other times, if I had such a terrible game like that, I might not even be able to come out and get close to my average. So, again, I go to say all of this and to say that I bring it back to Tuesday, where I had the opportunity to go up there and close the case, and I choked. But what are you going to do after you choke, all right? What is in your heart, or what is it that you're made of to go out there and go finish the case and go get back what you deserve, right? And that's where I came out. I went and practiced. I went and got the practice. And even though, I rolled a 138, it must have been Jimmy Long up there watching over, I guess. But they called the mystery score game. And I say this, a quick reflection. Last year, I put in on the mystery pot every single day for 18 or 19 straight weeks. And if you don't know what the mystery pot is, they pull a random number. If your number is closer to it, you win the money. Simple as that. And I put in every week, and the 1 week I didn't put in, they called my number on the nose. And I learned that scared money don't make money. So anytime I go in there, I put that money up for the mystery game. And sure enough, in my worst ever game of the season, I'm able to come home with $100 and win the mystery pot off of 138. And that can only tell you to say this. As many times as you get knocked down, you got to get the hell back up. You got to get back up, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to go out here and hold your hand. You got to go out there and take what's yours. And I'm telling you right now, after whatever happened on Tuesday, me and my brother are going right back on the saddle. And we're going to a tournament on Sunday. And I tell you what, I feel bad for anybody, those people that we bowl again next week, because like I think Shook said, that mental defeat, it hits different, and it's supposed to hit different. If it doesn't hurt you losing, or if it doesn't hurt you to not get the outcomes that you want, you must not care enough, And I put my 100% into everything, into this podcast, into bowling. If I play my grandma in checkers, I want to beat her so bad, I'm one of those competitors that, I want to beat you, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to have that type of mentality. And if you do have that mentality, you got to have the humility to be able to lose, but do something about it, all right? And I say that also to say that, here I had my Kansas City Chiefs, who just a week ago, I was talking about how there was no way in hell they would lose that Super Bowl. I didn't think there was a chance that they were going to lose that Super Bowl. But the same way that I may have mistaken it, they might have thought that they could walk out and win the Super Bowl. And that wasn't the case, man. And, I got to give my hats off to Tampa Bay. They played a great defensive plan. I know Patrick Mahomes had a bum foot, but there's no excuse. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers made plays. At the end of the day, the Chiefs didn't make plays. But, I'm still proud of the Chiefs in the way that they came out and had a great season. Not too many people can go back-to-back, let alone get to the Super Bowl back-to-back times. So, at the end of the day, 30 other teams did not make it to the Super Bowl. And, the Chiefs are going to be all right. I think it was very underestimated, the offensive line getting hurt, to where Patrick Mahomes was running for his life from the first down he snapped. I think it was also underestimated the amount of drops that the Kansas City Chiefs receivers had. Tyreek Hill got double covered and people couldn't get separation. I think the Chiefs also came away from the run game, and a lot of those combination of things wound up ending up to a Chiefs loss. And as we talk again about how do you take a loss, or how are you able to show that resilience to come back up and fight, I look to see what are the Chiefs going to do. Like Matt Landrum said, Mahomes had no help. So let's see what the let's see what let's see what the front office can do to put some defensive studs back there. I saw a team that beat themselves as well too. We were penalized heavy. I think that a team that isn't able to have discipline isn't able to take it to that next level. So, I think this is a humbling experience. Matt Landry also said to our point, 497 yards scrambling before throws. You cannot win a game or sustain success at that rate with those numbers. But, he also says that he thinks that we'll be back next year, and I do think so too. We have pieces there. We have people that want to be there. We have the right coaching staff there. And there's just a matter of just making defensive adjustments, putting personnel in place to be able to make plays, and then finally just going out and execute. At the end of the day, Tom Brady, they're going to talk about, he's one of the greatest of all time. But at the end of the day, he deserves that. He went out and beat a good Chiefs team and held us to not even a touchdown. We haven't seen that since really that Steelers playoff game where we had Alex Smith and we lost to the Steelers and didn't score. We haven't seen that. Our offense was completely blazing, but at the end of the day, it goes back to say defense wins championships. And I think that if we're going to try and win another championship with Pat Mahomes, the front office has to do their part to get the defense in order. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. And it seemed like every time Tampa Bay got the ball, it just seemed like they were going to score. And all season, the Chiefs offense pretty much was able to overshadow that or kind of sweep it under the rug. But the ugliest challenges, the ugliest things come to the light when you need it and when it's time to burst that pipe. So, I want to see what the Chiefs do in the offseason. Let's hope and let's see that defense can get revamped and we'll see what happens from there. But one of the other things that's been very talked about is the fact that, Mark Cuban was somebody that, chose not to play the national anthem at the arena for those games. And, for a lot of people, there's been a little bit of an uproar. We saw the NBA kind of backtracked and was like, all right, now that we're having fans in the seats, we're going to start to have, people have to play the national, the national anthem. And, it's an interesting topic because, it seems like whichever way you pick, you have a tough argument, But I'll go to say this, someone that played sports, it's a special feeling when you hear that national anthem go on. And that it's almost like before you're about to go to battle, it's almost like, you're unveiling the sheet to where you're going to go out here and go to battle. And, it's definitely, it's a special feeling. And I say that to say, part of the reason why it's, you get that feeling is when, you listen to the words and you see indivisible, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all, and when you're having that national anthem playing, sometimes, you get caught in the moment and you get that feeling of what it is, of, what they went through in that battle by hearing those words. Now, having said that, when you have those words that seemingly to society are not upheld, and you don't feel like the meaning means the same, then you have people that are going to revolt against that and have people that don't want to, play the anthem. And the bottom line is this, at the end of the day, these establishments and these corporations, these associations, they have things in place because at the end of the day, they want to make money. And I think at the end of the day, what the underlying issue with all of this is that people these major corporations, these associations do not want to lose money. And I think ultimately when you follow the money, you follow the influence, right? And, I'm someone that I think that, I've had, family members that served in the military. I've had, friends that served in the military. Shout out to my boy Carl, who's in the Navy. But, I stand for those people for the flag. But at the end of the day, there has to be some sort of change. And I think that what people forget to understand is the whole point of kneeling and the whole point of, not playing the anthem is to bring attention to the bigger issue. And that issue is social injustice, man. And I think that, even though I stand for, my friends and the family members that went through, I also stand for the change that I hope to see. I fully support if these associations are willing to not play the national anthem for the advance of social injustice. If that's how we're gonna do it, then yes. But if you're doing it, just for like a little bit of like a publicity stunt, or if they're trying to keep things around just for the money, then I feel that you're just always going to have that issue between morality and money. And I'm one of those people that believes, obviously, that we all believe that we all deserve freedom, equity, all across the board, whether you're black, white, Spanish, Asian. And that national anthem stands for that freedom that we're all supposed to share. So I feel like until that freedom, or until that level of equity or that equality that we're all searching for is being upheld, then we're always going to have people that don't want to stand for the flag, and you're not going to have the national anthem mean as much as it should. So at the end of the day, do I feel that it should be played at every arena? No, I think it should be whether that team or whether that association feels that it's necessary or not. I mean, at the end of the day, they hold the power by making these things and making up these rules. And if they're trying to uphold, or if they're trying to create social injustice or create that advancement, then I'm all for it, man. I'm with it. Don't play the national anthem. I commend Mark Cuban for breaking that ground and trying to make a statement in that we are not prioritizing the advancement of this social injustice and trying to make that equality. So hats off to Mark Cuban. Sometimes when you're trying to make change, or sometimes when you're trying to create positive outcomes, it's going to ruffle some feathers, and it's not going to be liked, or it's not going to be as accepted. So that's what our change makers do, and that's what is most important, man. So I commend them. We're just going to have to see what some of these organizations and associations are going to do. And, it's just going to be interesting to see. But, if you don't want to play the anthem, don't play it, man. But real quick, like you said, we saw some other people that were saying, yo, this cap is fire. Shout out to SportsWorld. They're putting out some incredible stuff. But I was so excited, and I definitely wanted to tell you guys about, some of the hats that I was able to pick up and that came in. And a lot of people are so, I love Hat Club just like anybody else. Don't get me wrong. But there are other great places out there for some good fitteds that you just got to look, and see what else is out there. And, we saw before where, a lot of people are trying to do stitching on the front of the hat. And more recently, what we saw is that people were doing the Statue of Liberty on these New York hats. And, I participated. I got myself a statue hat, and it was pretty dope. But I saw this concept that, started to, pop a little bit. But I saw it, and I was like, yo, I got to get one of these hats. This is fire. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys from SportsWorld. This is New York Mets World's Fair pink UV hat here. So here we got the pink logo for the Mets hat here. We got the World's Fair logo. And the best part here, we got the World Series 2000 patch. But the stitching in there is also pink as well to accent the hat. With the Rays Batterman logo and a pink apple on the back. I mean, the level of detail with these hats, man, are super fire, man. So we got Ahmed Salim who says fire. Yeah, man, I love the type of things that they're doing, with these hats, man. But, even though I do like, SportsWorld, we all know I am a fan of Hat Club. And I was so happy to see that this pre-order finally came in. Shout out to the pink lemonade Mets hat. Here we got the yellow for the lemonade with the pink undervisor. I mean, that thing looks gorgeous. Especially with the World Series 1986 patch and the pin to match from Hat Club. It ain't a Hat Club hat unless you got your matching pin to go with it, man. So, I was absolutely amazed to see just how well this looked in person when it came in. And, shout out to Hat Club for putting out some heat, man. I know that for some people that don't know, they got the Sweethearts collection coming out tomorrow, where we have some red and some pink UV in there. And then I think they also have a maroon colorway. The Yankees have 2 different colorways. I think the Mets have 1. So, definitely check them out, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Don't go for a Mets hat because that's what I'm going for, all right? So don't mess it up for me, guys. But yeah, this is the Talk That Talk show. We had a great vibe today. Matt Landry said, not a Mets fan, but that's fire. Hey, we'll do it. We'll show him one more time. We have Henry who says, looking like a Corvette. Yes, sir. We got that pink lemonade with the World Series 1986 patch and the pink UV, man. Shout out to Hat Club, man. Those guys are really doing it big. And then one last time, we got the World's Fair patch here. World's Fair embroidery with the World Series 2000 patch with the pink underbrim, man. Come on, guys. We got to step up that hat game, baby. Come on. But, in closing, I definitely want to give you guys a quick beer suggestion because that's what we do here at the Talk That Talk show. And this beer right here is called the Hazy O, okay? I'm a big fan of Dogfish Head beer. They do a good job of creating a good beer, right? And the reason why I say this is that, a lot of times when we're at the bowling alley, sometimes you're working with a budget, man. You're putting money into the pots, and maybe you want to drink exquisite beer. So sometimes I gotta drink the Miller Lite, right? So when I come here on this show, I look really close, and I look forward to sharing beer reviews with you guys because at the end of the day, you only get one life, so you gotta put good beer in your body if you're gonna drink it, right? So real quick, this Hazy O, it's got a nice body to it. I think that the color is one of the things that's most attractive to me when I look to, try out these IPA type beers. But when you look through it, you see the hops going through it. I'm like, oh man, this looks like a beer that's gonna go down so well. But if you haven't, Jose said, let me hold that fitted though. I don't know, Jose. I already got headphones for you so that you can actually hear in Call of Duty. So you gotta pick one or the other, man. And I don't think I'm gonna be giving up the hat, man. Shout out to Mary Beth Heaney. I had a fun time subbing for you on Wednesday night. It's crazy because it doesn't. I definitely miss going to Greenbrook, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things, especially in bowling, where you're always told you don't want to be a house bowler, and I pride myself on going to different bowling alleys and trying different places out. And for Greenbrook as being such a tough place to bowl at, it's has a special place for me. But I'm definitely at the point here in the the bowling career, bowling journey, where I'm just excited to go into other different places and trying to find different other alleys that I can't bowl at, or that I haven't bowled at before. And those are the things that excite me. And we always said, again, talking about challenging yourself, and that's important to do. And real quick before I get into this beer, I want to give a special shout out to my boy Jose because at the end of the day, I think that one of the things that is very underestimated is the value of your friends. And sometimes you never know just how important or what your influence can have on your friends. And I say this to say that right after I had, like I said, another tough night of bowling, didn't put up my best. You have Jose who calls me, doesn't even know anything about what's going on with bowling and everything, and he just called me straight up and he said, "Yo, brother, I just wanted to call you and tell you I love you, man." And at the end of the day, that just means so much, bro. And that call that Jose gave to me, again, shout out to Jose Colarico. It meant so much because here I was having a tough night, and just to hear your friend call you up and tell you that he's thinking about you and he loves you, that it goes a long way, man. So I challenge my viewers out there too. If you have a friend that you really care about, or that you really want to tell them what's up, man. Tell them you love them, man. And that meant a lot to me to hear that from Jose because we're people that sometimes, especially here in Jersey, we don't how could I say? We're afraid to kind of share our feelings, man, right? And it's one of those things where in the tri-state you're brought up to be tough. You gotta be tough, and that's all well and dandy, but sometimes it's important to share your feelings, man. And like I said, if he didn't share his feelings, then I might not have been feeling even better. So Jose, thank you so much for calling me, man. It's friends like Jose that really make me feel like I got the best friends and the best support system in the world, because you just don't know what a call like that can do for you, man. So thank you so much, Jose. I don't know. He said Ruben Hayton. Yo, I don't know if he's calling somebody Ruben Stutter, but I love that dude, Jose, man. He is hilarious. But without further ado, I'm going to go into this beer review. I'm tired of this sappy shit. But thank you so much, Jose. I love you too, bro. Let's get into this beer review. Here we go.
Hazo from VW Liquors. You can get it at Wick Plaza in Edison.
Yes. That Hazy O beer is very good, man. I mean, they talk about juicy, and a lot of times with IPAs, it kind of tends to dry your mouth out, pause. But I think that, this beer is definitely a beer with some body to it. I like the flavor that it gave me. And, I would definitely suggest it to you guys out there. I know Carl says he's waiting for me to have a beer that I don't like. But I try to give you guys good beer suggestions so that whatever I drink, you'll want to drink as well, too. So once again, cheers up to Dogfish Head for the Hazy O Hazy IPA.
Glug, 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 glug.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, so this is the Talk That Talk Show, guys. Once again, thank you to, everybody that continues to tune in each and every week. Thank you so much for, what do we have? Marissa says, right waiting. Yeah, but no, once again, thank you so much to everybody that continues to tune in each and every week, that continues to support me, continues to, believe in me. This show wouldn't be nothing if it wasn't for my fans out there. So like I said, whether you're in Wisconsin, whether you're in Louisiana, whether you're in Michigan, whether you're in Texas, whether you're in Nevada, I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. I wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for my people on Facebook Live or Instagram Live. Shout out to Mary Beth Heaney, Brian Spawn, Edwin Krupa, Matt Landry, Brady Matthew Hinton Sr., Angelo Paulo, Ryan Mackey, Randall Hill, Jose on our Instagram live stream, Ishabad Crane, Carl Samuels, Vitamin Z, my boy Mickey Coleman. You guys really, man, it's so humbling each and every week to just see the different people that we have on here. See the amount of people that are tuned in and that want to support in this show. And you all are the reason why I continue to go forward, put my best foot forward, share my thoughts, my opinions, my mind, my soul, and just try and give you guys all the best thing that I can, man. I'm so excited. I got to figure out what suit I'm going to wear tomorrow night for this boxing event. I'm super excited. I'm really excited to come forward on Sunday and bowl with my brother and get back after it. I'm just ready to get back on the saddle. And, for all those people out there that's been listening and tuning in, like I said in parting and closing, don't ever stop getting up. No matter how many times it's frustrating that you get knocked down, or no matter how many times you may fail or lose, it's never a loss. Remember, it's a lesson. And, like I said, I'm living proof here that you can continue to get back up no matter how many times you fall down. And that's what Talk That Talk Show is all about. Stand up, keep fighting, keep striving, keep dreaming, and keep believing in yourself. This is the Talk That Talk Show. My name is Barry Holmes, and I'm out of here.